Hey, what's going on? This is the Sapio concept in the new time. Yeah, in the new time. I'm talking about sapiosexualism. I'm going to get it all right to it. Let's look at here. Okay, let me big up the screen if y'all can see it. I'm gonna read it off. Okay, sapiosexual. What it means? Sapiosexuality means that a person is sexually attracted to highly intelligent people, so much so that they consider to be the most important trait in a partner. It is relatively new word. It's a relatively new word that has become more popular in recent years. See that? Okay. Both LGBTQ plus people and heterosexual people may identify as sapiosexual as well. That's what it says right in this thing. And you can find this on webmd.com. However, some people who identify as sapiosexual do so in order to claim as sexual identity. That's outside of traditional binaries, binaries such as heterosexual, homosexual, and male, female. This approach seems to be more common among younger people and interacting in digital spaces. Do you see that? I just read that. I won't read that again. I ain't gonna use the term homosexual because I use the term same sexual, but that's what it is. However, some people who identify as sapiosexual do in order to claim as sexual identity that is outside of traditional binaries such as heterosexual, homosexual, aka same sexual, what I like to call them, and male and female. This approach seems to be more common among younger people in interacting in digital spaces. It's talking about the internet. Okay, let's read it. There is a debate over the precise nature over the precise nature of sapiosexuality. Some claim it is a sexual orientation or sexuality. And certain dating apps even allow users to identify as sapiosexual. Other people say it's an inappropriate bid for queerness from a community that is not marginalized the way other sexual orientations are. Others see sapiosexual as a fetish, specifically for intelligence. Still, others think it straddles the two categories, orientation and fetish. So that's what this says right here. But the ultimate meaning of sexuality depends on the intention of the person using the word. It can suggest anything from a general preference from a smart partners to a type of pansexuality in which intelligence trumps everything, makes gender irrelevant. See, the last part says gender irrelevant. Okay. Let's read this part right here. How sapiosexuality works in relationships. We're going to read that. I'm going to see what's going on here. Yeah, people who's reading. Okay. Got two in the box. Okay, let's read this. People who consider themselves sapiosexual often find themselves in relationships with people who have similar fetish orientation, but these couples often enjoy intellectual activity as an integral part of an emotional bonding, and even physical foreplay. Okay. That's what it says. If a sapiosexual person is in a relationship with a partner who doesn't share these interests, it's important for both people to work together to make sure that everyone's needs are met. And that's what it says on the bottom. So we just read how sapiosexuality works in relationships. Frequently asked questions. What's the difference between sapiosexuality and simply preferring to date smart people? Let's read that again. What's the difference between sapiosexuality and simply preferring to date smart people? Okay. While many people want mates who are smart, sapiosexuality focuses on intelligence to a much stronger degree. Don't most people find intelligence attractive? And I'm going to read this. Yes, to a point. A team of Australian researchers developed the sapiosexual questionnaire, Sapio Q, in order to test whether the people were sexually attracted to intelligence, which they define with an IQ score. Whether they wanted and an intelligent person as a partner. But they found that participants seem to be sexually and romantically attracted to people with above average intelligence, up to and an IQ about 120. See, that's what they say. 120 is the requirement. Okay. Okay. That's my old phone. So the beeping. Okay. Above an IQ of 120, both sexual and partner interest decreased. Very high IQs were not perceived as particularly sexually attractive or as most desirable quality in a partner. I'll read this next part. Why has sapiosexuality has been criticized as a bit obvious or elitist? Okay. Some people believe that sapiosexuality devalues people. Oh shit. I done lost my place. Hold on. Okay, this thing acting up. Okay, let me read that again. Let's read it back from the top. Why has sapiosexuality has been criticized as obvious or elitist? Some people believe that sapiosexuality devalues people with different mental abilities. Those who label it as elitist or Eurocentric claim that it overvalues Western education and IQ while ignoring other forms of intelligence. Defenders of sapiosexuality claim that it's based on relationship compatibility rather than a judgment or absolute worth. Yeah, I do hear that comment in the Manosphere, and they talk about that in the Brain Trust. That's just one link. This is what it means. I'm gonna stop the screen share. I might want to put this in other link marks. Add to bookmark. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, done. Let's go with screen share with the other files. So we're gonna get this over here. Let's see. Let's go to the Webster. Go right here. Knock this link out. We said what it means. Separating our hearts from our heads, metaphorically, has been one ways we try to explain the difference between love and wisdom. The distinction has been celebrated in poetry and song, sometimes categorizing our emotional side as a fool and our logical side as wise person. Fools rush, and where was wise men never go, but wise men never fall in love. So how are they to know? Sapiosexual, a term that means sexually attracted to highly intelligent people, it is becoming increasingly popular. That doesn't mean that the phenomenon describes is new. Yeah. But the romance and wisdom needs not to be opposite. But the fact that the wisdom and knowledge can be themselves to be attractive qualities for a romantic partner is expressed in the use of sapiosexual, a word that means sexually attracted to highly intelligent people. This term is showing up with increasing frequency in personal ads, advice columns, even on t-shirts used by those who choose to describe themselves and their romantic interests in a way that contrasts sharply with often superficial looks orientated criteria traditionally associated with the beginnings of romance. Perhaps most intriguing thing about sapiosexual, sometimes that might strike us as a modern and open-minded. It removes gender identity as well as looks is from the equation of romantic attraction. Okay, for a minute. The remainder who selected, often 9.6, identify as, they say queer, pansexual, or some other identify relating to the individual separated from the gender, such as sapiosexual and bisensual, by Rachel Robbins. Turn to the next game. By Rachel Robbins, Relationship Factors in the Polymorous Women's PhD discussion. And it's currently, we still speak of a sexual attraction in terms of individuals of some sort, even in the terms such as sapiosexual, by David Rodemaker, Outsex, and Clinish Guys of BDSM, of course, 2008. And then they got one with Kristen Soul in April 20th, 2015. If you're more interested in someone's bookshelf, then they're not hot bod or bulging bank account. You might be a sapiosexual. Yeah, see, they got 3 books based off that. Okay. There's now even dating app called Sapio. Sapio is a hybrid word. That is a word made up of parts of others, typically from Latin or Greek. Often these words, recently coinages, despite of their classical lineage, um, of the Sapio, um, comes from the Latin verb of sapere, meaning to be wise or to have sense. It's also the root of such English words as sage, savant, savvy, and the most transparent, sapient, a fancy word for wise. It is visible as well in the common Latin name for the human species known as Homo sapiens, means human beings, by the way. Given new concepts, names made from ancient roots conveys of seriousness and specificity that the word lovers can appreciate and maybe share with the trait of someone. Yeah, I'm going to stop screen share. Let's go. Okay, what's going on? Sheed. Okay, I'm going to get this topic out the way. I'm going to knock it loose. Let's see what we're going to do here. Let's see. Let's try this one. Yeah, I'm going to knock this one. Okay, this one right here. They're going to annoy me to death. People. Okay, if you're confused about sapiosexual, you're not alone. Even as people gain more awareness of, they try to use the alphabet identities, but this one is rarely enters the common conversation. Here's everything you need to know about being a sapiosexual. I got this off of mindbodygreen.com about it, and they said, what is sapiosexual? We covered that in the other links. Might have to skim through it. And it says physically, emotional, turn on by intelligence. Sapiosexuals think that intelligence is the most attractive trait, valued more than a potential partner's looks or even personality. Sapiosexuality is sexual orientation characterized by sexual and erotic attraction to the potential partners who are first and foremost intelligent. Sex and relationship therapist Casey Turner, LCPC, tells MBG, in these cases, intelligence is the genuine turn on, not the status, job, or financial benefits that might accompany intelligence. Yeah. And here's the first signs. They already got 4 signs of it. Signs of sapiosexuality. You are drawn to potential partners' intelligence more than looks or personality. And here's number 1. Sapiosexuals are most drawn to turn on by another person's intellect. According to Crisis Shane LMSW, dual licensed social worker and alphabet expert. A sapio person may be more interested in discussing books or politics with someone on a first date rather than trying to begin a sexual relationship immediately, she says. They may have an online dating profile that focuses more on their career or their academic goals than on trying to find someone to engage in sex with. If you find yourself drawn to someone's intellect, this is very a good sign you are a sapiosexual. I'll read that again. If you find yourself most drawn to someone's intellect, this is a very good sign you are a sapiosexual. I may have to save this bookmark. I'm going to add this again. This is important. Okay. And let's read number 2. Intellectual conversations turn you on. Sapiosexuals are not only drawn to potential partners' intellect, they are often basically turned on by intelligence. If political debates or long discussions about literature really get you in the mood for sex, this is another sign that you are sapiosexual. For sapiosexual folks, intelligence isn't just icing on the cake for an already attractive partner. It is intelligence itself that drives arousal. Tanner says sapiosexual individuals not only enjoy intellectual conversations, but they might also feel aroused by it. So that's number 2. Number 3, you need to have an intellectual discussion before sex crosses your mind. For most sapiosexual people, it is impossible to feel comfortable dating or getting intimate with someone before you have a good, long, cerebral chat. Sapiosexual people might find that it's difficult to connect sexually with a potential partner until they have engaged in some form of intellectual discussion. Tanner says intellectual connection may be considered for far more effective foreplay than even physical touch. If you struggle to connect with a potential partner before chatting about their favorite books or political views, this is a good sign you might be a sapiosexual. That's number 3. Number 4, intellectual spark is more important to you than even emotional spark. Often, sapiosexuality can be confused with demiosexuality, a orientation characterized by only experience sexual attraction to someone after making an emotional connection with them. While there is some overlap between the two orientations, there is also a distinct difference. Sapiosexuality is the need to build an intellectual attraction before a sexual attraction will occur, while demiosexuality is the need to build an emotion connection before a sexual attraction will occur. Shane explains for a sexual attraction to begin, a sapiosexual person is seeking someone on the same intellectual level they're on. Whereas as a demiosexual person is seeking someone who will share their feelings and emotions. Yes, there's 4 steps we just read about the spark, discussion, conversations, and potential partners. I'll say more than looks or personality. That's what we talked about, those 4 things. We're going to read the next part. Is sapiosexual or real sexual orientation? So you know how that goes. And we're gonna read this. Despite sapiosexuality entering discussions about sexual identity more and more, there are many who still do not view sapiosexuality as a real orientation. Some queer people have also argued that sapiosexual people should not be included in the alphabet umbrella because it's not related to gender preference in the same way. Identities like pansexual and heteroflexible and others clearly are. However, some sexuality experts advocate that sapiosexuality is a valid orientation and it should be considered as such. See, there's an argument. There's a reason why they don't acknowledge it. There's a strife with the alphabet. They don't acknowledge this. That's why it's not discussed in the manosphere and outside the manosphere. Just a sidebar. Sapiosexuality is not an orientation. It's that orientation is about the gender identity of the partner or potential partner. Shane explains a sapiosexual person can identify as gay, straight, bisexual, pansexual, or gray sexual. Sapiosexual is how the person develops their attraction to someone. It is how, not who, of their attraction and experience. As a sex therapist, I make it a priority not yuck someone's yum, so to speak, Tanner adds. And as a queer person, I know what it feels like, how many my orientation invalidity. I just don't see the need to value someone that is the truth to someone else. Ultimately, labels are only helpful if it allows you to feel more comfortable and confident in your sexuality. If the term sapiosexual feels right, valid to you, then you should use it. Yeah, this term is fairly new. It's controversial with the alphabets. They don't want to deal with it because it gets in the way. It's a little competition, but it's a fairly new term, and this is posted in 2020. I'm just going to hit the next link, and it's only like 19 and whatever minutes in. So yeah, so I know people ran away off of that. So I don't really care at this point. I'm just going to knock it out. I know people's live streaming. I don't care. So it's 1 like. Okay, good. Good. That's a good sign. Let me see the live chat. And go here for a minute. I'm gonna look for something for a minute. Hold on. Because nobody's not gonna feel this right away. see if I'm loud. Hold on. Let me see what I'm on. Yeah, because I know this is going to be probably a short stream. We'll see. Here's 2 likes right now. We'll see what we're talking about. Just give me 1 second. I got to check something real quick because I don't want no bullshit. Because we're gonna talk about this interest shit. We're gonna read. This is mindbodygreen.com again. I'm gonna have to put another save to my files to the Sapio thing. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. I ain't gonna do a part 3. I'm gonna do some more research on it and get some more links because this is gonna be something I'm gonna touch about it. It's a touchy subject in the Manosphere. That's what the split came from. I talked about this in the Brain Trust. I talked about it with a certain individual when he did late night streams, and I'm just going to go in depth because you got a lot of people seeing for what it is. So, you know, this is a touchy subject. So, you know, I already know what time it is. Now everybody wants to talk about it. Yeah, everybody doesn't want to talk about it. Let's get into it. Pay attention to their unique interests. That's number 1. Let's read from the top. Okay, there's 16 ways to turn on the Sapio, aka the brainy person you're super into. Yeah, finds intelligence attractive. Like all types of sexualities, people's personal definitions of sapiosexuality may vary, but what certain peoples with this identity would rather be turned on, but what they think is your most alluring feature, your mind. If you're dating a sapiosexual person and want to learn how to turn them on, the first step is to know the typical seduction attempts don't work for them. Their idea of foreplay, for example, is to hear about your book collection. That means you have to charm them with a sharpened intellect as well as your witty banter, comparative thinking, and curiosity. See, they're like complex people. I'll tell you that. But I will get into another stream about hybristophilia. I'm going to break that down as well. That was commonly used in the space as well. I want to get some links on that in the future. First and for the most known to that, no 2 sapiosexuals are alike, says sex positive counselor Ashley D. Sweet, MA, LPC, LMHC, CCRC. Being attracted to an intelligence or intellect does not mean the sapiosexual in your life will be turned on by everything that falls in the board realm of nerdy. Let's read that again. Being attracted to intelligence or intellect does not mean that sapiosexual in your life will be turned on by everything that falls in the boredom realm of nerdy. An easy way to seduce your sapiosexual is to get to know them for who they are. To do that, Sweet encourages you to pursue their bookshelf, social media feeds, or even their Netflix queue to learn the kinds of content that stimulates them. Your first instinct may be to drop a hot game of Captain on the first date, when in fact they'd be way more in chilling with an episode of Carl Sagan's Cosmos, Sweet tells MBG. When you can show genuine enthusiasm or curiosity in their unique interests, sapiosexual people will be more inclined to let you in. That's number one. Here's number two, orate foreplay. Let's see if the game's back on. Okay. Y'all work with me, guys, because I'm reading this too and watching the game as well, because I'm not going to probably be for long because people are not paying attention. They probably pissed off that I'm making this, but that's okay. It's not about what they want, it's what my content's going to be. Okay. To achieve the type of intimacy your sapiosexual craves that takes ons off of a physical touch, instead explore their sexuality verbally. But the brain is the most powerful sex organ, explains certified sex and relationship expert Emily Morse, PhD. And for sapiosexuals, this mind-body connection is crucial when it comes to arousal. That's why deeply discuss both of your sexual desires and where they come from works well for sapiosexuals, because the biggest turn on can be talking about your turn ons. Yeah, that's how to get down. Intellect. Be vivid as you describe how you like to play out some fantasies, as well as generous in your expressions of how they make you feel. You might be surprised to see your partner respond to this much more than a lap dance. Here's our full guide to the dirty talk for the little incipio. As you discover each other's sexual appetites more, recommends as yes, no, maybe lists to help you learn more about preferences for many sapiosexuals. It'll provide enough verbal fodder and foreplay for days. She remarks, once couples figure out where they're aligned, they can spend time deeply diving into why they're into what they are, and in developing an extension erotic roadmaps. Playing book club and library dicks. That's number three. There's a big chance your sapiosexual loves libraries and getting lost in the large, expensive aisles of endless knowledge. Participate in their interests, but spices up and turn into library make it out tour. Visit different libraries in your town, or take a trip to one in another city and spend the afternoon pursuing and analyzing the titles you like. Of course, sneaking some kisses between the bookshelves. And another option is starting to book club. You can make an erotic books only rule to set an intimate tone to be actively. It can feel just as sexy if you wax poetic about science or history books. But the opportunity watch you expand on your views. Soundly argue differing opinions will be their favorite part of the evening. So talking about plan, book club, and library. This is number three. Here's number four. Discover culture together. Sapiosexual people are eager to learn new things. When you plan next date, and certified sex therapist Michelle Herzog, the LMFT CST, suggests you feed their curiosity. Take them to an art gallery, museum, or any kind of cultural center that provokes enlightening discourse. Bringing a sapiosexual to a space that provides the opportunity to learn can be incredibly attractive to them, she says. In addition to that, exploring to these spaces together gives you a chance to understand each other's interests. Sapiosexuals want to the connection with their lovers by exchange knowledge and philosophical beliefs. So they relish their chance to swap opinions about anything new you learn together. That's number four, discover culture together. Number five, let me teach you. Yes, sapiosexuals are attracted to intelligence, but they don't expect you to know everything. No one can live up to that standard, not even them. So don't feel pressure to awe this person with your ability to keep up with every topic. Instead, tell them when you're clueless. After all, true intellectuals can admit when they don't know something. And your partner might be impressed with your humility, according to Sweet. They certainly won't be turned on by your attempt to know it all. Performative intelligence will fall flat. Likely turn your beloved sapiosexual right off on your next date. Be honest when you don't know something. Your eagerness to learn more will be sure to turn on sapiosexual, as well as the ability to flex their brain muscles on a topic they love. Okay. Have game night. I'm just playing. But with a twist. Play strip Scrabble. You'll find you'll never work harder or be more turned on by a triple word score. Morse attests. In this steamy version of the game, whoever has fewer points by the end will be naked first. But the Morse noticed that everyone wins in this version of the game. You can try this with a game of your sapiosexual's favorite trivia categories to choose a certain number of clothing items for each. Play to wear, and then play as you typically would. When someone earns a point, then they get to pick one piece of the clothing for the other player to remove. Keep playing until the game is over, or even a player is naked as they are comfortable with being. An adult spin works for most intellectual board and card games, so try this with one of your choosing. However, you can also skip them entirely. Stroke your sapiosexual's brain with a fiery game of debate. Not only will they be sexually attracted to your ability to eloquently express your perspective by in a complex subject, but they won't be able to resist the sight of your respectable argue your points. Feel free to spice this game up with a strip twist too. That is called have a game, but with a twist. That's number 6. Number 7, align your interests. Sweet recommends you find interests that intersects that give a creative and create an intimate evening that fires up your minds and bodies. Are you both fans of Alan Watts, for instance? Plan Alan Watts theme date night. Write down some of your favorite quotes and fold them into origami. For your sapiosexual lovers to open, she suggests mentioning a reminder to omit any types of or incorrect grammar. If it's something they're comfortable with, you can role play too. Sweet says to role play as well if you're Watts leading class. As you read his lectures aloud, pretend your lover is a sexy, brilliant student in the back of the class. Use your imagination. Get creative. Go deeper. Urges Sweet. Sapiosexuals love that. And here's number 8. Are you up to it instead of up? Okay. I'm going to take a little break and see what's going on here. I know what's going on. It's probably dead in here. I know they don't like this topic. I know I ain't going to get no views off of this. I don't care. Because everybody's live streaming right now. Okay. Expressions of intelligence such as gain to attraction of sapiosexual. One way to show off your intellect is to ensure your verbal communication skip matches theirs when you chat on social media, text, or talk on the phone, or sit across from them at a coffee shop. The sapiosexual you want to woo will admire your ability to adhere to proper spelling and grammar rules in your communication. Sapiosexuals are turned on by the thought of their lover being well read and well spoken. So before you send off your next text to them, triple check your spelling and fact check your argument. They say, are you up to it? And here's number 9, share your passion. Sapiosexuals you desire wants to hear you talk about topics you are knowledgeable in. It is often authentic expression of someone else's intelligence that is so intriguing and arousing to the people who identify as sapiosexual. Sweet points out, if you really passionate about a topic, show your passion while you discuss it. Whether it's your robotics hobby, your favorite French literature, or your interest in cosmic exploration, give them more insight into who or you are asked to speak vigorously about what excites you. Your expertise will arouse your sapiosexual, especially since you can teach them something new in the process. Sweet says she can attest to this. I remember being so hot for my 73-year-old sociologist professor when I was 20-year-old and underage because he was completely passionate about what he was teaching. Oh, God. All right. Okay, let's read number 10. Documentary and chill. Dinner and movie is a classic date night option for all couples for sapiosexuals. However, the latest Romacon or book adopted thriller may not live up to their standard of intriguing and examinable cinema. Rather than a mainstream movie, watch documentary from your couch or theirs, or buy tickets to show them in town when a film festival rolls around. Sapiosexuals want to be captivated by the exchange of abstract thought. So don't forget to hold the discussion after the documentary and compel with them with your worldly views. Talk nerdy to them. Sapiosexuals are people who want to explore attraction, though philosophical questions such as what is the meaning of life? Do you believe in faith? How does one attain happiness? Intellectual conversation, exploration, gain, perspective are qualities that contribute to the sapiosexual levels of an attraction. Connections, here's all, tells MBG, talking about what you do for a living and where you grew up are important. But a sapiosexual would rather know about your insights or about your philosophies. Plus, exploring the questions like these really allows two people to get to know each other, or often, or I'll say each other. Oh, okay. More meaningful view. Oh man, I messed up my reading. Okay, I'll read that again. Plus, exploring questions like these really show allow people to get to know each other on more of a meaningful level. Okay, talk nerdy. Let's go to number 12. Write short stories together. If a sapiosexual in your life is a storyteller, ask if they want to pen a short story with you, like the book club. You can dare to write an erotica story that makes you both sweet, but that is not the only way to excite them during the activity. Since intelligence dazzles the sapiosexuals, it will be turned on whether you partake and do well at something that stimulates them. Feelings of desire toward you are sure to stir up as you adequately engage their intellect and create art that they feel passionate about. Write a short story together. Okay, read them. Sweet explains that people who identify as sapiosexual value the mind over the physical material. In that case, bring your oral skills to their level. Read works of interest to your loved one, whether you read Annis Nin classic erotica, 17th century poetry, or technical manual. Morse says when you read them a book, you will stroke the sexual, intellectual requirements for many sapiosexuals. As you read, slowly pronounce and deliver your words to entice your partner to hang on to each one. This is the sapiosexual equivalent of slowly undressing with your eyes. Emphasizes Morse to send them over the edge. Clearly articulate your words, and according to Sweet, you should be mindful of the syntax of cadence or rhythms that applies to the work at hand. If you succeed, she says one of the set of the oral skills may lead to another. Here's number 14. Pretend host a podcast episode. What is your sapiosexual's favorite podcast? There may be a few, but the least one in listening several episodes to familiarize yourself with the subject matter. Once you feel confident in your ability to hold your own in a discussion, plan to spend the next day night play hosting hosting an episode of your own. All you need to do is download a free app to record the show, then decide which episode to put your spin on it, on which topics to cover for the first time in the same style as the podcast show's host. Remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is they'll be touched. You will went out of your way to indulge their pastime. That is pretend to host a podcast episode. Get conversational. No, get controversial. My fault. Get controversial. Okay. I'll drink this water real quick. Damn, Atlanta's got 52 and New York's got 47. Damn, it's a good game. Philly's got the lead now. Oh, they on this end. Uh-oh. They're on fire. Get controversial. The most important thing about the active activity to explore taboo subjects together is to do respectfully. It's easy to get riled up in a response to views that oppose yours. But no matter whether it's religion or politics, a sapiosexual will want to explore the depths of these topics, notes Herzog. She also mentions these taboo subjects are not only incredible explorative, but also imperative to be honest about. Facts. These controversial conversations let your lover get to know you on a more profound level. Herzog says your sapiosexual will love to dissect your perspective and the different concepts that deeply shape who you are. That's a good one. I didn't know that. Okay, learn new skill together. Number 16, the last one. Impress the sapiosexual you want to turn on and commit to a long-term activity you can do together. Learn a new language or complete a DIY project. DIY project. Either way, their attraction will grow as they observe you're building something from scratch or witness your aptitude to learn quickly. Afternoons in the shed can easily result in you two in bed. However, you choose to turn on a sapiosexual, the key is to lead with your brain, not your body. Like most people, sapiosexuals appreciate good looks, but it's not what keeps them. What is your passion of willingness to change the world, becoming a functional nutrition coach? That's what it says. Okay, Farah Daniel, MBG contributor, with this topic. And this is called the 16 ways to turn on a sapiosexual, aka the brainy person you're super into. That's what I just read from mindbodygreen.com. Articles like this. Yeah, I want to do some more research on it. I'm just going to keep it all on the screen. If y'all need it, I'll type in. Okay. I'll type is sapiosexual is relevant. Oh shit. Yeah. Let's look at another one. I'm gonna find an article. Okay, let's look at another one because I'm gonna read some more of this. I just saved that. I'm gonna keep that in the box. Okay, I know people are not watching. There's 3 likes from a distance. I know people don't like it. I got 3 likes off of it. Okay, I know people are not watching. Okay, let's see. They keep it from a distance, I believe. Let's see what's going on here. Let's type this in. How much time I got? 43 minutes. Okay, we're in the ballpark. Okay. Cancel. I don't want that. Study of the sapiosexuality suggests some people really are sexually attracted to intelligence. Okay, this is the SciPost.org. It's a 2018 study. Minority people are generally turned on by intelligence, according to the new psychology research. The study recently published online in scientific journal Intelligence found that most people desired a partner who is smart. Furthermore, a small percentage of them report that they were specifically sexually aroused by intelligence. A lot of research have shown that intelligence was a highly ranked characteristic in a partner, but I had my doubts that people prefer a very high level of intelligence in a partner, explained Giles Gainek, a senior lecturer of the University of Western Australia. Because the most previous research in the area had used rank measurement, it was impossible to tell what level of intelligence people on average preferred. A different level of study need to be conducted to find out, he told SciPost. A second part of the study was relevant to the word sapiosexual, a person who finds high levels of intelligence, most sexually attractive characteristic in a partner. Gainek said the word sapiosexual has been used in a popular culture, but had not yet been investigated scientifically. Consequently, I wondered whether sapiosexuality would be measured with a conventional psychometric scale. Okay, conventional psychometric scale. How many self-described sapiosexuals there might be in the population? For their study, Geinig and his colleagues surveyed 383 adults regarding what traits they would value in a romantic partner, how attracted they were people of varying intelligence levels. Okay. Intelligent was the second most highly ranked trait beyond the kind and understanding. The third and fourth most highly rated traits were exciting personality and easygoing, respectively. The researchers also found that people rated those with a higher intelligence as more attractive, but this effect appeared to have a ceiling. Uh-oh. Have a ceiling. Uh-oh, we hear that word, ceiling. We found that the association between desirability of prospective partner and IQ of the prospective partner is collinear, and it peaks to, okay, where's the collinear? Okay, collinear, and it peaks to an IQ of 120. We just read that earlier in other articles. 90 percentile, and drops a bit of from 120 to 135. 99 percentile. Geinig, the told side post. Because, yeah, I'm in here right now. Yeah. 90 percentile guidance plus. Okay. In other words, people were most attracted to the potential partner who was smarter than the 90% of the population. They found someone who was smarter than 99% of the population to be slightly less attracted as a partner, but still more attracted than some people who was only smarter than 50% of the population. The researchers also developed a measure of sapiosexuality that asks participants how much they agree or disagree with the statements, such as listening to someone speak very intelligently arouse me sexually. It would excite me sexually to have an intellectual stimulating conversation with a potential partner. And in addition to the study used for cognitive tests to examine the intelligence of the participants themselves, we found that sapiosexuality can be measured by psychometrically, and that between 1% and 8% of relatively young people, 18 to 35, may be sapiosexuals. However, interesting how intelligent a person measured with an actual IQ test does not appear to predict the degree which people identify themselves as sapiosexual. Geinig explained, like all research, the study had some limitations with respect to the examine predictors of sapiosexuality. The study did not indicate people with the below average levels of intelligence. Here we go again. Consequently, a relationship between actual IQ and degree to which people identify with being a sapiosexual may let emerge. Also, it remains to be determined whether the intelligence is only desirable mate characteristics that the peaks of the 90 percentile, perhaps all sorts of desirable mate characteristics, in parentheses, good looks, kindness, easygoing, etc., would show a drop in desirability. A very elevated levels from 90 to 99 percentiles. Okay, to study some people's attractive sexual intelligence, psychometric evaluation of sapiosexuality was co-authored by Joe Derbyshire and Michelle Uy. Yeah, so yeah, it's another one. It's very relevant. Sapiosexuality or sapiosexual, it's a common thing. They got articles. This is not fairly new. I think we did the 7 signs. What is this? I want to look at this shit. I might not read another article. It's talking about a partner. I don't want to get in depth. It's a short article. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, this is part one of the Sapio. What we call it, the concept in the new time. And yeah, I just bear new links. Sapiosexuality, this is common in space. I've talked about this on the Brain Trust, and I'm not really worried about anything, but if anyone see what's wrong with the subject, but it's cool with me. Um, yeah, I'm 50 minutes in. I want to see if there's another article, and I'm going to copy and paste. Yeah, I'm going to see what this is going on here because I already got 16 ways. I'm going to post it back up. Ain't that much. Let's talk about dating apps. So I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna give it an hour. I'm gonna try. Woo, what people really mean when they identify as sapiosexual on dating apps. I got this on Mashable.com, an article. Oh shit. Continue to the site. Yeah, they trying to give me a sign of bunch of bullshit. All right. I know what you're trying to do. Damn. Trying to give me a sign up. I can't read the article. Okay, let's read this briefly. The fog above love that is dating in 2019 has led a near constant barrage of new terms that helps us navigate the uncertainties of the modern courtship. Ghosting, lumbersexual, cuffing, cloaking to novice online dating profiles today can look like baffling coded messages with random ass numbers, aka unspoken requirement to men to include their height, nonsense acronyms, aka Myers-Briggs personality type indicators. But no online dating term has gained quite as much as instantly popularity in a virtualic backlash as the sapiosexual. Sapiosexuals claim to be more attracted to people's intelligence than their appearance or consider high intelligence a big turn on. No one wants to date an idiot, of course, but as University School of Public Health professor, sex researcher Debbie Habernick clarified for sapiosexuals, intellect is the most pivotal factor in an attraction. Some people who identify as sapiosexual describe an intelligence as a fetish or a kink. Others say they fall in love with someone's brain. Habernick says identifying as a sapiosexual on your dating profile is considered a fox pass on par with using words like wanderlust or dudes using pictures or themselves holding the fish. Yet there is no denying that sapiosexuality caught onto the mainstream for a reason, filling a gap between the language we have available and the language we need to find connection in the online dating world. Okay, see also, okay, on the internet, all you have is words. So while in real life, you can watch how someone interacts with others in dances online, you just have what you type at each other. Say psychologist, author, sex coach Liz Powell. Despite the backlash, continued popularity of sapiosexuality on dating apps shows just how much online dating changes the way we express our relationships, needs, and desires. The problem, though, is calling yourself a sapiosexual can mean a whole lot of different things. Not all of them are great. The rise and fall of sapiosexual. This is interesting. The rise of sapiosexuality is extractively linked to the struggle to communicate who you really are the rest of the internet. First coined in a 1998 live journal post by a user known as Wolf Boy. It was born out of the frustration with the lack of words that fits the sexual preference, but the term only took off in the early 2010s, which is, well, the concept's not new. So it's been around since 1998 online. Okay. So it's been around early 2010. So through online quizzes, those solidifying into dating lexicons in 2014 after OK Cupid made it an option for sexual orientations to gender identity. Yeah. It slipped up on me. Okay. The whole new app called Sapio, even launched in 2017, advertised as the online dating app that match your base of intelligence, though it is very photo forward design like Tinder. Over the past year alone, Okay. Ooh, my stuff is charged. Okay. Hold on for a minute. I know I'm a little Borgy. Okay, let's read it. Oh shit. Made me lose my place. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Advertising is day long night based on intelligence, though very vote oppy for like design like timber over the past year alone. Okay, Cupid also saw a 40%, 42% increase in people using the term on their profiles. According to the statement provided to Mashable by itself, the global communications manager, Michael K. Sexuality researchers also took an interest in the sexuality. The sapiosexual phenomenon. One in 2018 study tried to find a metric to determine whether it's a real orientation or a fetish, while another one in 2019 examined the overall role intelligence plays the mate selection. But there isn't enough evidence yet to either support or debunk its legitimacy. But the critics have already written off the so-called sapiosexuals as pretentious at best, discriminatory at worst, while also demeaning real marginalized gender and sexual orientations in the alphabet community. I ain't gonna say their whole name. You already know who that is. They're beefing with that concept. When even Tumblr doesn't recognize your sexual orientation, you've got a problem. On the Daily Beast article conclude, sapiosexuality is a highly controversial term these days. Let's read that again. Sapiosexuality is a highly controversial term these days because of the ways it can ensure classist, obvious, and sexist and racist ideas about what it means to be smart, said Powell. Most folks who identify as sapiosexual means that they like being able to have a good conversation with the people they date. Even the Sapio app betrays the utter vagueness of the term, marking itself as the only app that gets to the core of the people, though their live their lived experience, heartfelt opinions, bold passions, which sounds like any fulfilling relationships. But Sapio CEO Kristen Tinsky also revealed what is really at heart of the sapiosexual trend when she told the Huffington Post, for many, defining oneself as a sapiosexual has become a statement against the current status quo of the hookup culture and superficial where looks and prize above all else. Similarly, Coffee Meets Bagel CEO Dawoon came to Mashable that the rise of sapiosexuality is a part of an underlying trend with swipe fatigue and online dating culture. In other words, people are tired of uh, stiffing through the hundreds of profiles, judging people's desirability based on a few pictures. It has left them feeling empty. So sure, it's probably the wrong word, but the sentiments behind sapiosexuality gets a very real, very common, and needs that come out of the age of the online dating, wanting deeper, long connections. So what does being a sapiosexual really mean? What does sapiosexuality really seems to emphasize is people desire for an equal partnership with shared interests, opinions, self-actualization, drive, and educational levels. Wow, this is a sapiosexual man, but also looks like, yeah, that's they use a picture, for example. Okay. Western Sydney University professor, sex researcher Peter Johansson doubts that sapiosexuality is legitimate orientation because it fails to account for many other more fundamental factors beyond a sapiosexual's mating selection. In 2018, the study people who classified as sapiosexual admitting to still caring about a baseline physical attractiveness in their partner, but unlike an orientation like the same sexuality, like this article said, homosexuality, attraction to the high intelligence comes secondary to the factors like gender, biological sex, even similar values. People can be intelligent in ways you don't value or that doesn't satisfy your specific. Johansson said, given an example of a sapiosexual Democrat who would, in 2019 probably find themselves attracted to a Republican no matter how intelligent they were. Our definitions of intelligence are relative to our own intelligence, with research suggesting that even those who have highly value intelligence and a partner still have a cap for exactly how much smarter they want that person to be. In general, folks, okay. In general, folks tend to think that those who share their existing views are smarter than those who don't. So it'd be a shared social location and experience, not intelligence, said Powell. Sure enough, the self-identified as sapiosexuals Mashable talk to and have been interviewed elsewhere and have vastly different definitions of an intelligence ranging from an emotional maturity, humor, drive, IQ, to curiosity, to the use of proper grammar. Liking the same smart things they like. They also express an aversion to what they perceive as dumb people and their base interests. For me, I would say it's much more awareness. Being emotionally intelligent, I like someone who takes their time seriously to be in themselves intellectually by learning more about people and about the world versus stacking stuck in their own little bubble. I think it's a thirst for information which turns me on, said Jen Carlo, a 35-year-old UX copywriter. Even though she doesn't include the sapiosexual on her dating profile precisely because of the stigma around it. I I found it dumb exhausting. Some I wonder how they survive, and said Roxanne, 28-year-old. Okay, that's people's questionnaires. As far as sapiosexual, I ain't gonna read this whole article. We explained it. Yeah, it's a controversial subject, especially in the manosphere. Talking about black men. It's been commonly used by the Brain Trust. I've talked about it with a certain individual that leads it. You already know who he is, and you can check his channel out, whatever. But I want to do a part 2 to this, and we're gonna keep this little search. So yeah, I'm gonna knock this out, and I'm just gonna see what's going to happen here. Your dreaded gram pops up. Oh, what's going on? He's just trolling. Okay. I'm just going to hit the link. It's over an hour. Um, Anybody wants to, yeah, okay. I'm going to pin the link in the chat. I'm just going to pin it. You already got 4 likes. Let's see what we're talking about. This is a touchy subject, so I already know people are gonna look at this and say, "Man, this dude's talking about sapiosexualism and sapiosexuality." And I already got this up here. Just want to post. If you want to read this article, I give you the Mind Body Green. What I just read is from another article. What was the history of it? I think I got a history of it right here. What I just read. Um, the psyoppost.org. Yeah, that's the one I just read. If y'all interested, that's the new tab. I'm just gonna keep it up if y'all want to ask, because I already know this is gonna be controversial. And yeah, so the link's in the chat if you want to come up, because I got time. I'm watching the game, whatever. So yeah. So I'll be right back in a couple of minutes. So y'all hang out in the chat. I'm gonna do this real quick. All right, I'm back. I had to take care of a little something. Yeah, I just covered this Sapio thing. Yeah, the link's in the chat if you want to discuss it. Um, yeah, I got the 16 ways, and then I discussed the study of the or something like that. Hold on. And what's the other one I just discussed about the social media one? Shit, I did something. It's a website I've seen. Mashable.com. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look at that. That's a 2019 article. Yeah, check that article out. Yeah, it's very controversial online, the dating apps. I discussed that a couple of minutes back. I mean, we're an hour in, so yeah, it's like it's a lot of stuff. This is controversial, probably in the sphere too, because a lot of people don't want to deal with it because it's talked about in the brain trust a few times, multiple times, but I'll probably be the only one talking about it on this side. Is not as much. I'm gonna do a part two. I ain't gonna do a part three to bore y'all to death because yeah, this is the link that I did, and it says 16. I done read earlier the brainy person. It says 16 ways to turn on the sapiosexual, aka the brainy person you are super into. So yeah, it talks about the foreplay, the interest, the library, playing the book club, discover culture together, let them teach you, have a game night, but with a twist, strip poker and all that. Align your interests. Are you up instead of you up? Share your passions, documentary and chill. Listen to this, documentary and chill. Talk nerdy to them, write a short story together, read to them, pretend host a podcast episode, or get controversial, or learn a new skill. The last one, learn a new skill together. This is from mindandbodygreen.com. MBG relationships. It talks about the Sapio thing. I mean, there's more links I could have found. This is controversial online when you type it in Google because it's a fairly new term, been around since in the 2010s, because 98 was fairly new, but it's an old concept, been around since 98 online. So you already know what time it is. A lot of people don't want to talk about it because it's not in the family of the sexual orientation, so it's unisex in a way. So I discuss it on the brain trust a lot. So that's the problem. I think people don't want to discuss it as much. So yeah, I don't know who that is. Your dreaded grandpa once call us pimps and all that. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know who that was, Must be a newcomer. Yeah, man. Like, I want to talk about this so much. I'm getting back to my brain trust mindset I was on over there, but we wasn't really talking much. I'll see why everybody live streaming. Let's see what that's going to be like. Philly don't won the damn game. Yeah. Yeah. It's controversial because I may not get a lot of views on this because I don't know who's going to be watching. And if you're new, you can subscribe if you want. Um, because I don't know. I think this is gonna be kind of short because I don't know if people's gonna come up. But yeah. I mean, the links in the chat if you want to discuss it. I got the links. I got the links in here. I got them. I mean, we can discuss them. You know what I'm saying? Not above approach. Because this article, 16 ways to do it. Let's say is. I can read some more. Let's see what comes up. Insider.com. Stop the screen share. Because I know people don't want to listen to it. It's a nice little article. No thanks. Let's read this. Ronson said he identifies with the term sapiosexual, and a social psychologist thinks the controversial sexuality is here to stay. Got the brain. Okay. Let's read this article. Last week, singer-songwriter Mark Ronson appeared on an episode of the talk show Good Morning Britain, during which one host introduced him to a fairly new term, sapiosexual. You hear what it says, fairly new term. This is a 2019 article, by the way. A word describes someone who identifies as being sexually attracted to intelligence. Upon learning it, Ronson said the term could be used to describe his own sexuality. I didn't know that there was a word for it. But yes, I feel like I identified as a sapiosexual, Ronson said. Then Good Morning Britain host praised Ronson for being out and proud. Soon after, the internet erupted in jokes about the situation. See, here we go. Twitter shit. What is shit? It says that was sexual. I'm disgusted to lack of foods market to us. A grocery store is rife with sapiosexual bias. I've been forced to subsist in these for years. I'm dying from malnutrition. Oh my God. These people are so fucking dumb. Look at that bullshit. See, it's a divide with that term. Regardless of the comments of the social psychologist Philip Hammock told Insider that the term and the trend of defining the sexuality based on intangibles rather than gender-based appearance is here to stay. Hammond said he understands why people may be opposed to the term like sapiosexual because their views are coming from a paradigm of sexual orientation we've been raised with, or that a personal sexual orientation is defined by their gender identity and the gender identity of others. But the sexual orientation is about more than just genders we're attracted to, Hammock said. This explosion around the new sexuality language tells that the story, but it doesn't mean gender. It isn't a strong anchoring concept for sexual desires. Sexual desire. Rather than the term, okay. Critics of the term sapiosexual say it's elitist, albeit I just read that in an article with the Mashable.com. We just read it. Let's hear the words again. Here's the criticism. Critics of the term sapiosexual say it's elitist, albeit and detracts from the queer community its experiences. Yep, that means the alphabet. So we already know. Nobody's want to hit the link, so that's cool. I want to read some more of this because I want to see who comes around. I might have to extend it. Hold on for a minute. Six is already won. That's game over. That's game over. We in the headlines that started proclaiming Ronson had come out as a sapiosexual. Some Twitter users were also quickly to explain that sapiosexuality is not recognized sexually in the alphabet community. I ain't gonna say the whole name. In fact, the term doesn't come from a sexual researchers or psychologists, therapists, or any scientific resource, not to mention queer people. That's what they like to call them. Rather, the term first appeared in the mainstream in 2014 when dating the platform iCupid made an option user picks when searching for perspectives and matches, according to Male magazines. Writers Miles Klee. It appears that the term was first created in 1998 when LiveJournal user Wolfboy, who we just read, called Mashable.com, said that they coined it in a post called Stoke on Sapiosexuality. Me, I don't care too much about the plumbing. I want the inclusivity, insightful, irrelevant mind. I want someone from who philosophical discussion is foreplay. Wolfboy wrote sapiosexuality. Some Twitter users who critics of the term say that using intelligence as a benchmark characteristic for attractiveness can create problems. For example, the term could suggest only people with a certain level of formal education are attracted, or that people with mental disabilities aren't attracted because of their brains, but their brains and function differently. Yeah, it has a little discriminatory in it. Additionally, some queer community found the coming out language used to describe the Ronson's moment to detract from difficult situations queer people face. Commonly, they say gay, bisexual, under gender-based sexuality. Okay, I'm gonna skim through that. Terms like sapiosexuality will only become more popular. Hammock said that it seems terms like sapiosexual becomes increasingly common sexual orientation descriptions over the years. Some people say that are ecosexual, meaning they attract to someone who cares and is passionate about the environmental issues, Hammock said. Oh God, ecosexual, man, what else are these terms? Well, I tell you, man, people come up with these dumbest terms, man. It's killing people. Humans are wild, man. No scientific research on the terms exists of the Hammock believes. This is mainly due to the scientific community of lacks of progress in the study of sexuality. A lot of people are identified with a language that isn't just about gender, which the scientific community is stuck on, but it's also about non-physical traits you like. The intensity of those feelings of desire, he said. Hammock perceives sapiosexual becoming an increasingly popular term people will use to describe their sexuality since society is becoming more open to the concept of sexual fluidity and variation. Still, he thinks it would be used as more a secondary decryptor of the sexuality rather than a personal primary decryptor of the type of the person to which they are attracted to. Intelligence can be embodied in so many ways, which is why I suspect it will be is used as more of a supplement to the other sexual identities. Hammock says sapiosexual won't replace the word gay or bi, then, but a person might call themselves gay sapiosexual. Hammock say, which is interesting. Okay. Um, Debbie Hebernick, a sexual health educator, professor of applied health science at the Indiana University School of Public Health, told the New York Times that sex scientists more often consider trait-based sexuality terms as sexual identities rather than sexual orientations. The vagueness of intelligence complicates sapiosexuality. Male magazine wrote Klee and some Twitter users also criticized sapiosexuality because, well, would who would actually say they aren't sexually attracted to a smart person, explicitly declaring you need to an intelligent partner. Then it feels like a declaration of superiority, Klee wrote. Hammock said that the vagueness of the word intelligence does indeed complicate the idea of the sapiosexuality. It is very much the eye of the beholder how they view intelligence. It could be someone who is a talker in the classroom or a person who is performing a great on exams, Hammock said. Regardless of how people choose to define their sexuality, though, Hammock said it is important to recognize one term doesn't make another insignificant or obsolete. Whether a person identifies as gay, straight, or sapiosexual, or something else, we do not know why these things were attract to, which is the whole point. It is not easily explained. Yeah, this is an article, but the insider.com, I just discussed that. This is Celebrity from the Insider. That's another one. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a whole concept out there. And it says, is sapiosexual is controversial? It's the subject. Just like I read and Mark Ronson and all that, and I got the 16 ways, and I know people is not dialing in. It's 19 playback views. I know people is not focusing on that, which is cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's an hour and 28 minutes. I mean, the link's in the description. I posted a link, so I'm good. So yeah, so we're here. Yeah. Yeah, man. I just did a topic on it. I don't know. People's into their little stuff. I know people is not watching, but but yeah, I got the link in the chat. We can discuss it, man. Like I just said, like I got links to it. Um, I read the Mark Runson, the Insider, and yeah, it's very controversial, man. It's kind of like what I was explaining to dude in the Brain Trust, but it's like that's what I'm seeing here. But yeah, man, I mean, this is something I want to put up, but I will do a part two of this. I'm gonna do more research if it's more controversial. So what's good? Yeah, Sixers win. I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. I was watching the game while I was doing this too. Jazz. I know it ain't 10 yet. Yeah, it's good, man. What's going on? Clippers play at 10 at TNT. Oh, the Knicks play. Okay, okay, okay. Let me go back here for a minute. Yeah, I know the Grizzlies play and all that. Jazz, you need to put their ass away. Uh, I mean, it's easy to go back, but the 10 o'clock game was around the corner. Yeah, it's just like I predicted, man. I said the Sixers was gonna go, but they're gonna sweep the Hawks. Whoever's winning this game. Oh damn, Hawks may close this out in New York because they won it in New York. They're not gonna beat Philly. Say that right now. Yeah, I know the it's good, but yeah, I just talked about the sapiosexual stuff, man. Like I've did a few topics on it, got some links. I know it's controversial, and it's a touchy subject I did in the Brain Trust. So yeah, some people just ain't gonna get into it like that. I did this in the Brain Trust last year, and we did like serious topics on it. So yeah, man. I mean, I got two links in the chat, so if y'all want to come up, because I might have to watch the rest of the game and the Clippers and the Mavs. But I know everybody's live streaming because I know everybody's going crazy. I salute them. But if not, I can shut this down. But I'll see. I'll see what's going on in the chat. Yeah, had a had a new guy here. I don't know who that is. Call us pimps, please. Call us pimps, man. Oh my god, that's some funny shit I've heard, man. I mean, that's some funny ass shit. Man, I know Dusty's on, and oh man, I don't want to go in there. I know people are talking about it, but yeah, links in the chat, man. If you want to come up, I know y'all bouncing around and stuff, but I know people's on the panel and stuff. But a lot of people say, "You gonna keep this live stream open?" I say, "Yeah, I may," because because I don't know who's gonna come through. But I just put it up to see what's going on and all this other stuff. And you know, yeah. So it looks like the Hawks is trying to hang on and sweep, trying to they ain't gonna sweep. They're gonna eliminate the Knicks to 5 games. But the Knicks should come back and win this if I was them. I mean, they down. They got 71 points. When I was over here talking about the Sapio stuff, man. Yeah, it's very controversial, man. Like I've never seen orientation become so controversial because dude wouldn't explain to me in a brain trust about it. You know, I just don't see people. You know what I mean? It's a good article. Don't read this. Link newspaper. I'm gonna put this up here. I'm gonna save this as well because I might want to use that. I'm gonna end it right there because I know people is busy being live streams and concur. I know people don't want to come up. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this open. Let's see. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna read this last article and I'm gonna say this for part two. Um, let's see. Part two. I'm gonna do something real quick. Um, part two of the StreamYard link. Let's see. I'm not gonna do a late broadcast. Let's see. Get this light going. Yeah, I'll read this last article. Okay, this is the Think Link newspaper. I know people's in the pretentious mode, so okay. Don't be pretentious. Don't at me. You're not sapiosexual. You're just pretentious. Intelligence is subjective, not a sexual orientation. They try to make a joke article. One who finds intelligence that the most attractive sexual feature. That's what you get when you look up the word sapiosexual on the Urban Dictionary. Why didn't I use an actual dictionary to find a definition? Because Urban Dictionary, much like sapiosexuality, should not be taken seriously. It's a criticism article right here. I consider myself to be a pretty sex positive person, but I'm close with people from all corners of sexuality. But be they different orientations, preferences, or kinks, that being said, one thing I refuse to tolerate is pretentious people thinking they are also above you, that they will call themselves sapiosexual. Given that a sapiosexual's main point of attraction is intelligence, is an intelligence, the term doesn't normally observe gender by implication. The man who allegedly coined the term wrote a live journal post, and wow, it sounds like a meme because it's a meme. The man's profile picture shows him in a top hat. It's perfectly absurd that it's a borderline impossible to take it seriously. Yet despite its meanness, people are identifying as sapiosexuals unironically, so much as that the OK Cupid has made it a legitimate sexual orientation. When you make your account derived from sapiens, right? The Latin word wise, sapiosexual is not only pretentious, it is classist. From high school, rich people get into better schools, public or private, which is usually allows to get in their better colleges, universities from them, and then on rich students, more likely to end up in grad school and getting better education. Being attracted to someone solely based on their IQ isn't cool. It is shallow as fuck, he would say. Newsflash, IQ doesn't actually matter in the real world. Well, technically, you're right, it doesn't. It's really common sense. I agree with him on that. But the knowledge of someone with a lower IQ is still valuable, but the IQ tests are mental equivalent to beat the test. They're not that indicative. The people attribute way too much important to them. Being a sapiosexual also reinforced the same tired, fake woke ideas surrounding what it means to be intelligent. It feels like you only consider intelligent in some internet circles if you own a copy of any Jack Carl novel. Don't watch television. Generally feed just a little bit of superior to the rest of the world. Not only it's ridiculous and dismissive, identifying as sapiosexual is also flat out inaccurate. The American Psychological Association defines sexual orientation as an enduring pattern of emotional, romantic, or sexual attractions to men, women, or both sexes. Being attracted to smart people is fine. Just don't be so full of yourself that you would go out of your way to make it a sole identifier in regards to who you are attracted to. Yeah, it's a nice little article. I saved it. So yeah, man, it's very controversial and people have some criticism about it, you know. I know people don't like this concept, but you know, it's an hour and 47 minutes. So yeah, man, looks like no one's coming up. But I'm just gonna look at it for a minute. Yeah, man. I know people are tired, but yeah, the link's in the chat if you want to discuss it. But I'm about to head out because I know people is streaming like crazy right now. I don't worry about it. I'll post it again if anyone wants to discuss it because I got a few links to back up what I say. Copy it and paste it, if y'all want to come up, because feel free. Because I know people is going to be over at the bullshit with Monique and all that same old tired ass topics. I try to do something different over here. But this one, I won't have a part 2 of it Friday morning. And I'll go in depth because I know people are not going to be into it. Might have to get into it that much because I know people are so emotional right now to the other stuff. At nighttime is, I did the first part at 8:15, so I did pretty good. The other one's at 8:30 a.m. Friday morning. I'll get a glimpse of it. So yeah, I'll assess this again. So and I know one person's in the chat, which is cool. It's a slow start. We'll see. But people have their own priorities. But yeah. So yeah, I got a couple of more, but I'm just gonna save some of it. And they got it with the Daily Beast. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in another. I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna read the Daily Beast about it. And this is gonna be part 2. We're just we're gonna skim through that. Yeah, sapiosexualism, man. We're gonna stop it right here. We're gonna leave this alone real quick. We can discuss it or whatever, and I'm just gonna put the links in the chat if y'all want to jump up because I'm about to leave in the next hour, and I'll shut this down because sapiosexualism is a very controversial topic. It's controversial because the alphabet community and others don't acknowledge it as an orientation. It's unisex. It's very complex. Some of it can be political. It's here to stay online. I do know that it was created by a guy in 1998 by OkCupid. So there's sources of it. So I don't know why the Brain Trust preaches that in the About Me section. I learned to figure that out, that when you're a sapiosexual, I have links and proof that it's very controversial, and I'll get some more links in part 2 on Friday to succumb what's going on. So yeah, this live stream is y'all to learn. You can look back at this on the playback and see the links that I just read, and because 9 out of 10, I know people are not going to come up and discuss these topics like these because this is very controversial. So I know this is going to be. I'm gonna do a series on it Friday, and I'm gonna end it, and it's gonna be a 2-part series. The next one, live stream. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I don't see in the future. I'm gonna pick a topic of something, what's going on, because I know the playoffs is gonna be on fire. Yeah, Atlanta looks like they're eliminating the Knicks right now. So yeah, I'm over here chilling. But the links in the chat, if y'all want to come up, because I may leave the next hour if y'all don't come up, because I can end it in the next hour because I don't see who's gonna come up, and we can discuss about it, what you think about it. I got links. I'll make it simple for you. I discussed the 16 ways on mindbodygreen.com. 16 ways let's read this. 16 ways. Oh shit. Fuck that up. Hold on. Man, I fucked that up. I fucked it up. Okay, 16 ways to turn on a sapiosexual from experts. Yeah, I hit that by mistake. Ways to a brainy person you're into. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, they had these links popping up in front. So, yeah, I know people don't want to come up, but that's cool. I know it's cool because it's very controversial, because I think people don't want to discuss it because many reasons. I know it's been discussed in the brain trust a lot, but sometimes you got to rediscuss it and just get it over with. So, so it's already charged on that. Yeah. So Atlanta will play the Sixers. Sixers gonna win that series. We know Atlanta's inexperienced. But up next is the Mavericks. Let's see, yeah. I'm back. Is acting up. But good. I'm gonna kill it for a minute. Let's see who's up in here. Because yeah, I think this has gone long enough, because I may have to kill it for a minute. Because yeah, I pretty much discussed everything on the Sapio. I will do a part 2. It's gonna get good. I ain't gonna have a much links. I'm just gonna discuss the topic, and then I'll try to open it up to see who's gonna come up, and then I'll have a full discussion on it Friday. Let me check something real quick. Hold on. On StreamYards. Hold on. I'm gonna start doing something. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. it hurts right now. Okay. Yeah, I know somebody don't want to come up, but that's okay. Because I can end this stream anytime right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end it. I'm gonna shout people out. Shade, thank you for showing up. I don't know who this new guy is. You are dreaded Grandpa Sup 1. Grandpa P1 Sup. Okay. I don't know who you are. Must be a troll, but okay. 1G's, thanks for coming out. We'll see who wants to come up, but I'm just saying, but yeah, I just discussed the Sapio concept part 1. And you know, oh, what's going on, most men? Salute. What's going on, man? Yeah, I just discussed the concept about the 16 ways. I had a few articles. What I discussed the presentious of it, the positive and the negative, then I discussed what it is in the beginning. So yeah, so with that, shouts out to most men for showing up later. So with that, I just want to say peace. Until next time from part 2, the same thing. Check it out on Friday the 4th. So with that, I want to say peace and shalom.